The AMX 1390 Tier 9 French light tank.
It is his fault he didn't lock the garage.
Hello, I'm RetroJules. This was my very last game in the AMX 1390 Tier 9 French light tank. The only tank in the game that I have played 3 times through. This is a brilliant, fun light tank. Fairly manoeuvrable on the move, not very manoeuvrable at low speeds. A great 4-shot drum, a very healthy 21-ish seconds reload. A little bit limited on gun elevation and depression, but a brilliant sort of precursor to a batchat and a brilliant sneak up tank. We're on Normanhan winter, so it's going to be a very bumpy ride. And it looks like that I am almost SUI scouting. Now when I say SUI scouting, I don't mean that's a nod to the American tribes that wear feathers in their hair. Suicide scouting. I am pushing so far on the map to light the enemy up. All I'm really going to help is our arty, because our team have barely left the cap because they're slow. But I'm also aware that the enemy are made up of so many triangles. And the games I'm playing lately seem to be full of so many triangles. So I'm trying to light them up too. So shooting on the move, this tank isn't brilliant at it. Not bad at this range, but with its gun restrictions on the elevation and depression, these bumps and lumps are an absolute nightmare for staying aimed at your enemy. So blind shots are a little bit of potluck, and this light tank is not going to leave me alone. And there's the usual bit of retro panic driving. So okay, 3 tanks spotted, lost half my health, or just over half, but survived. That for me actually is normally a good thing in a game, because I then focus just a little bit sharper, because now I'm thinking, Retro, you're on half your health. Barely 2 minutes, 3 minutes into the game, not really achieved a lot. There's a whole game to play for now, and full health would have been ideal. But then, when you're in a light tank, normally it only takes a couple of shots to take your health out anyway. 3 if you're lucky. But it's good for me. So I will focus and be just a little bit more cautious. Maybe. I was very concerned about the AMX 13105 that I am heading for and am about to reveal. I wasn't sure if it was a replacement for this tank. I've got a mark of excellence on this tank, not overly difficult to get, and I've really enjoyed, I've played this tank through from beginning to end 3 times in a row. And you've got to like a tank to do that, and I really enjoyed this tank. And it's quite an adaptable tank because its accuracy is good enough that you can snipe a little bit. Whereas the 105 is a bit more of a Boshy gun and isn't going to be so good at sniping. So I think to myself, well, maybe I'm going to lose a little bit of flexibility. Will I be keeping this tank? And then the situation you're faced with is, if you're going to do that, do you keep this tank with its crew and start the 13105, the tier 10 version, with a new crew? Or do you steal a crew from a French tank you don't play much? Or do you transfer this crew into the tier 10? Alright, oh really? Come on, just take this E50 out. One more shot should... Oh come on! Oh hurrah! That took a whole clip. Or do I keep the 1390 and have a brand new crew in it, which isn't ideal and would probably mean I would never play it again. So that was the sort of quandary that I was facing, knowing that I was going to unlock and purchase the 105. Well, we are doing very well in this game. 1 kill under my belt. Not great on the spotting front. Now here we go, we'll sneak round on this Death Star. Oh, fluffed that shot. I'm going to keep it on auto aim because I just want to keep on the move. I do not want to be in front of that gun when it's loaded. And a reload, and the Death Star's taken out. And there's a Doom Turtle. And this really iterates for me in the game why I do not play heavily... What's that? Who put that E50? Oh yeah, I shot it, didn't I, and destroyed it. Oopsie. This is why I don't play heavily armoured, slow vehicles. Because you get a stupid light tank like me, and there is absolutely nothing you can do about it. Well, I'm just going to stay here. I might get the reload in. I kind of should tell the team I'm reloading. Really? Oh, it took one of our guys out too, but the Doom Turtle is taken out. 4 tanks to go. 2 of them red squares. They've not been lit up yet. So let's see what we can do with this heavy. Was it a T10? Yes. Which way is it looking? Oh, perfect. These are just the perfect light tank battles when you can engage enemies that aren't remotely interested in you, can't see you, are facing the wrong way. 2 red squares. Go on, Retro. You can do it. Finish the game off in style. There's one. Off you go. Get that reload done. Oh no, it's taken out. There's the last one. You can do it. Keep on the move. Get that reload done. You should be aiming. That's it. Get. Oh no! Just. Oh, shotgunned. Oh dear. Oh well. 1/3 of the team spotted. 15 damage ribbons. 5 critical. 11 assisted. And 1 tank destroyed. So what was the actual last game in my 1390? I'll settle for that. 3,500 damage, first class mastery, 4,200 assisted, and 67,000 silver in the bank. And Retro comes top. So this was my very first game in the 105. We've lost 1 shot in our drum. We're a 3-shot drum auto-loader, something you need to be very aware of when you go in for your enemy, or if like me, you're a crap shot and miss. We've gained 4 seconds on our reload. We've gained around 29 penetration per shot. We've gained 150 damage per shot. We've also gained 2 degrees of gun depression, which makes this a little bit more adaptable. We've also gained 10 meters of view range, which is excellent for a scout. So I hear you cry, this is definitely the replacement for the 1390. Why would you want to keep a 1390? Well, because of the gun. Because your accuracy has now gone from 0.38 to 0.42. This is less snipey. It's more batchat style gameplay. You can snipe from distance, but the gun will let you down and it is not accurate enough. So, is it a replacement for the 1390? I'm going to say yes, unless you really do favour snipey bush camping tactics with binoculars on. This isn't the tank to do it. You want to keep the 1390, but I think once you've got this, Are you then going to go back to a tier 9 light tank with 10 meters less view range, 29 less penetration, and 150 less damage per shot? I would say, excuse me, I would say the answer is going to be no. And it was a no for me. And having that extra 2 degrees of gun depression kind of almost compensates for the lack of accuracy you've got, because there are more places in the map, I'll get my words out in a minute, there are more places on the map that you can utilise because of that extra 2 degrees. So then the second question is, do you go for this or do you go for the batchat 25T? They both have a 105mm gun, and the batchat has the 5-shot autoloader. They're different, but they're very similar. They have similar gameplay styles, but what works in this tank's favour is its camo value, because it's a light tank, and it keeps its camo bonus, it keeps its camo value when it's on the move. So it's, if you like to have that tank that's adaptable for assisted damage, spotting, hiding, and still going in for your enemy and sneaking up at them when they're on their last legs and taking them out, this is absolutely the tank to do it with its speed and manoeuvrability. The batchat, which is a brilliant tank, can do more damage and has a better chance of wiping the enemy out with more damage per shot and better penetration. So it's a little bit down to your gameplay style. I think if you've got a 13105 and a batchat 25T, or even a batchat 25AP, I liked that too, in your garage, then you are in an ideal situation. They are both excellent tanks at tier 10. So we're just going in for this ISU. And right, I'm trying to work out the capping icons here. They are capping. I still do not get on with these cap icons, and just so you know, if I do release this video before the new update, they are not changing the cap icons in that update. And when I look at the cap icons now, I've really got to look at them to work out what's going on. Something I cannot do and cannot translate in the heat of battle. It's going to be a cap off. We're capping 2 to their 1, 3 to their 1. I'm going to jump in there as well, because that's the sort of game it's going to be. Hide myself around the corner, and you are about to see a bit of Retro's finest aiming and shooting. Are you ready? Here comes the batchat. Any moment now. Here it is, and I fluff that shot. Oh dear, and surely, and I fluff that shot. And finally, well, there we go. Terrible bit of shooting. I could have got some extra damage there easily. But that was the first game I played in the 105 on Himmelsdorf, not the ideal map, and came 4th overall. So I've actually had the 105 for quite a while. As I record this, I think my 105's got about 100,000 XP. So I've played it a fair bit, and I'm really enjoying it. It's just taking me this long to actually make a video of it. But we're on Prokhorovka. What better map could you wish for a scout tank to go and work that ridge line? And the first run is normally the best, and we bring in just under half the team spotted already. So it was a new crew that I had in the 1390, which I transferred into this. The crew have reconnaissance, situational awareness, sixth sense, brothers in arms, snapshot, and they are training currently in smooth ride. And the equipment I carry, which is pretty much standard for all my scouts, is vents, vert stabs, and optics. So, surprise, surprise, half of each team is dirty, filthy triangles Oh, it's just a game killer for me. Too many triangles, for me personally, spoil the game. There should be 2 or 3, no, I wouldn't say 3, couple of arty in there. And a couple more heavy tanks, ideally. But too many triangles just makes it all a bit campy. But as we look at our TDs, we've got 3 camped at the back. 1 at H3, 1 at J1. 1 on the tracks at J7. And 1 climbing the hill at H0. So actually, the TDs aren't in bad spots at all. We've got the ones at the back of the cap waiting to take a shot at anything that comes over the ridge line, at the ENF lines. And the rest have got the map covered. But me, I'm at the back of the map and I'm probably not in the best place at the moment. I kind of should be on that ridge line, peeking and keeping everything lit up. And I can't remember why I went this way. I think it was just a bit busy with those mediums and I didn't want them to push over. So I thought I'd come and play this side of the map. So there's a light tank. Their light tank is keeping us lit up on top of the hill at F0. There's a Scourge Kirovets. And this is sort of the situations where the gun depression just works. You're sort of, in the 1390, you're always struggling to get your reticle on the target. Whereas with that extra 2 degrees of gun depression, it just seems less of an effort. You kind of aim and it's like, oh, I can actually hit that target. Well, when I say hit that target if you're not me. But the thought is there, the idea is there, and that extra 2 degrees of depression really does help. So we're on 7 of the enemies spotted. Pulling in the assisted damage, we've spotted half the team. I think I'll just sit here, yes, and reload. And could really do with our team. We've got a heavy and 3 mediums kind of up on that hill, and we kind of need them to come down really and leave the TD there to help push. It's a very even game. We're barely 5 minutes in and absolutely anything can happen. Fortunately, and quite proudly, I am still on full health. Not sure if I'm being an effective scout. It's just, well, I'm doing what I'm doing. There's the leopard. Just playing it a little bit careful. Because this is going to be one of those games, I reckon, that's going to come down to dirty, filthy triangles at the back of the map. Camping with binos and nets on. And oh, got to be careful, that leopard's dropping in. Got a nice auto aim in. There's the Scourge. Oh, that flies over. And yeah, see, this cannon is not accurate at distance, and even less so if you try and snap a shot before it's fully aimed. And Mint Eastwood is trying to direct us to the enemy. Mint Eastwood, what a great name. Oh, I like that. So the leopard's down in the water, the Scourge is still there, and there's an ST over at A8. And I lose half my health here, being a little bit silly. So I'm determined to get a shot in the Scourge. It's not looking at me. One in, get another one in. And I lose a third of my health to a leopard that's under the bridge. And what do? I pop back up. Look at it. Bad retro. That tank was always looking this direction, waiting for me to pop up, and I just gave it a really easy shot. Not good tankery. So now I'm down to a third of my health from full health. That was just a silly waste and made me rather cross, actually. But Mint Eastwood's name keeps coming up and that makes me smile. Right, ST, the leopard's still under the bridge, and yes, see, now I'm playing it properly. I know that leopard's there and I know it's looking this way and it's taken out. If only I'd had that thought process a minute or so ago, I could have still been on full health, which would have turned out rather vital in this game, as it happens. Auto aim didn't work. Aim the shot in, Retro. That's it. Get them both in. Had that first shot gone in, you'd have taken that tank out and got a kill for it too. Oh, how I look at these games and could have played them all so differently. Well, this game could go either way still, but they are TD heavy with a platoon as well on the TD front. So I'm going to pop up on the tracks here, see if I can spot anything. No, we need to push forward. Everybody is moving forward, fortunately. There's a Death Star. Not looking this way. Get a shot in. Another shot in, and I'm spotted, so move. And this is where it all goes wrong. I just want to get one more shot in that Death Star. Ah! Dirty, filthy triangle. Took me out. Had I been on full health and not let that leopard have easy shots, I would have still been in the game. And I think at this stage in the game, it's vital for that scout to be there, because I could have pushed forward and lit up these filthy triangles, which are all going to be camping at the back of the map. Well, hindsight is such a powerful tool, but it doesn't change the end of this game. I died. And our team, fortunately, brought the game home, and that platoon of dirty triangles were camping at B and C1, a grill that got me and the Death Star that I tried to help take out. They took out our batchat, but the guys moved in and they clinched the game for us. So thank you very much, ladies and gents, for winning that game. So how did we do overall? Very respectable 67,500 silver, 3,500 XP, nearly 7,000 combined damage and a third class mastery. Actually, apart from dying, it wasn't a bad game at all. Well, I hope you enjoyed the unboxing of the AMX 13105. It's a really good tier 10 light tank. My next one to show you the unboxing of will be the WZ 132-1. Keep safe, keep tanking, and I'll see you soon.
Yep. I said it before and I'll say it again. Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.